Welcome to the Michigan Football Report. It's rumor roundup time, folks. March 1st, a lot of stuff to talk about. I am James Yoder, the king of Michigan football media. 12 rumors to get into, starting with Tim Drevno. Was he fired? Did he resign? A lot of misinformation out there, but from what I'm hearing, I'm giving a 3 Harbaugh heads that he was actually not going to be permitted to come back to be part of the Michigan staff in 2018. There were some rumors out there he'd be demoted. Sounds like he didn't really react very positively to Jim McElwain coming on and him being reassigned. Also, Pep Hamilton may have got that same talk. Put him in the picture there. Different story on him that we'll get into maybe next week. All right, on to rumor number 2. Jim McElwain is the offensive coordinator or not. Michigan put out his kind of contract, his letter of understanding that still says he's the wide receivers coach. Someone actually did a Freedom of Information Act, but I'm giving a 4 Harbaugh heads that Jim McElwain is the offensive coordinator at the University of Michigan. Now, Michigan starts spring practice later this month. I expect that they officially announce that position for McElwain before that date. They still haven't even announced that Tim Drevno is no longer with the team. So for some reason, Michigan holding back making any official announcements with relation to any of their coaching staff. All right, on to rumor number 3. Is there a new offensive line coach at the University of Michigan? Well, the man has put it on his own Twitter account, but no confirmation from Michigan. 4 Harbaugh heads, FACK, Ed Warinner, running game coordinator, offensive line coach at Minnesota last year, 5 years at Ohio State as their offensive coordinator, co-offensive coordinator. He has been called by some as the best offensive line coach in the country, changed his Twitter bio to offensive line coach at the University of Michigan. So we're giving it a 4 Harbaugh heads. Has not been officially announced by the university yet. That's why it's part of our rumors roundup and not just a piece of news. All right, I am James Yoder, the king of Michigan football media. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter for all your Michigan-related inside information. Want to get a reaction poll up here, see what you guys think about this one. Can Jim McElwain be the missing piece for Michigan football to win a title? Whether that's a Big Ten title, a national title, go ahead and give it a like if you think yes. Give it a ha-ha, the laughing face, if you think Michigan still has too many things to overcome to win any sort of championship in 2018, maybe 2019. Is McElwain the missing piece? All right, we'll hear from you guys on that. On to rumor number 4. As Shea Patterson finally done his appeal process to the NCAA. FACK he has, folks. As a 4 Harbaugh head. The appeal went through from the University of Michigan compliance staff on Monday. Patterson's lawyer put out a little press release. He talked to some folks. They put out the appeal with the University of Michigan. Now, he said he expects to find out the decision from them potentially no later than March 12th. He said 10 business days for Ole Miss to give their thoughts back on the situation. And the NCAA could then turn around in just a matter of days. So could find out in the next 2 weeks. He said no later than the end of March. So by the end of Michigan spring practice, we will know whether Shea Patterson will be able to be in uniform in 2018 for the Michigan Wolverines. So that's a big development just happening this week if you hadn't seen it. On to rumor number 5. I keep seeing this on message boards and Twitter and blogs. People answering like, well, it's a bummer. Shea can't practice. He can't go on the trip to Europe. He can't work out with the team until he's approved by the NCAA. That is fake news, folks. Completely fake news. Shea Patterson can work out with the team. He can practice. He can take all the snaps at practice at quarterback if he wants. The only thing the NCAA has to rule on if he can play in the fall, but he is a member of the Michigan football team, so he can take part in any activity just like any transfer would be able to. They can practice all they want. So if anyone tells you that he can't practice till the NCAA appeal is approved or denied, just know that is fake news. On to rumor number 6. Is Patterson's eligibility a foregone conclusion? I'm giving this one a 3 Harbaugh heads because I still haven't heard from anyone reputable or any of my sources that said it's most likely he's not going to be given eligibility. They built a case for about the past 8 weeks, since about mid-December, late December his lawyer did. Then he committed to Michigan. Michigan started working with him on the case. So everyone I've talked to, all the the other insiders, quote-unquote insiders out there are saying, hey, foregone conclusion, it's going to happen. It'll be a matter of days. So giving it a 3 Harbaugh head, anything can happen with the NCAA. We all know that, so it's only a 3 for now. But what is the 3 Harbaugh heads? What are these Harbaugh heads? If you're a YouTube watcher, I know you love them. Keep telling us in the comments how much you love the Harbaugh heads. 0 Harbaugh heads, totally false, fake news. If it's a 1 Harbaugh head, there's a small shred of truth. It's out there. No real, credibility behind it yet. 2 Harbaugh heads, people are talking 50-50. 3 Harbaugh heads means it's pretty likely either we have a source or someone we trust has put it out there. And if we give it the 4 Harbaugh heads, it is FACK. It's a fact. That's how Jim Harbaugh Harbaugh spells it. That's how we spell it here at Chat Sports. So I want to hear from you guys. Weigh in the comments section. How excited are you for Shea Patterson to be playing at Michigan in 2018, maybe 2019, potentially even 2020 if he can't play this year and sticks to the 5-year plan. So go ahead and give it a comment. Can he be the difference? Can he take Michigan to a national championship? Can he beat Ohio State, Michigan State, and Notre Dame on the road in 2018 if he is eligible? So go ahead and get us those comments on your excitement level for Shea Patterson suiting up for Michigan. All right, on to rumor number 7. No practice in Paris. Is this really true? Well, it is. We're going to give it a 4 Harbaugh heads FACK. Michigan practiced in Rome last year as part of their European trip. This year, though, they were expected to practice in Paris, where the team will depart in late April, but Michigan put out their spring practice schedule of 15 practices just in the last couple of days. Did not include any practices in Paris. So I looked into it a little further. Sounds like there was some sort of scheduling conflict with the Michigan academic calendar and when the stadium they wanted to practice in had availability in Paris. So they just bumped that. It's going to be more of a tourism thing, more of a cultural thing for the Michigan football team. They won't be bringing pads. They won't be suiting up in the maize and blue helmets in 2018 spring practice in Paris. So that one is not happening. All right, on to rumor number 8. Is the spring practice date official? Well, it is official. As I just mentioned, Michigan put out their spring practice schedule. So there is a 4 Harbaugh head FACK. The spring game will be April 14th in Ann Arbor. Spring practice starts 3 weeks from tomorrow, March 23rd. So Michigan will practice 15 times over a 1-month period. Do a spring practice right around 2/3 the way through that. So really excited to see what this Michigan football team, bringing back all kinds of starters, can do in 2018. A lot of things are going to change in spring practice. New coaches on the offensive side of the ball and a new offensive system. It sounds like if Shea Patterson's in there, you know it's going to be drastically new if Michigan is playing to their strengths. On to rumor number 9 is former Michigan Wolverine Kurt Anderson, a new grad assistant. Well, I'm giving it 2 Harbaugh heads. People are talking. I've heard this from multiple places. I don't think it's happened or is imminent in the next day or two, but keep an eye on Kurt Anderson. From what Michigan has built, Jim Harbaugh has built, is they want to have their offensive staff, their defensive staff, and then one of these analysts for every position group. And where Michigan's had some success is having a high-level high school coach or potentially a coach that just got fired or let go somewhere else. Bring him on for a year or two. Maybe he goes out, gets another job. Maybe he comes up and backfills a position like Ed Warinner did when he came over from Minnesota, not fired from there, of course, but backfilled Tim Drevno as he led the program. So keep an eye out for Kurt Anderson. He was Michigan's, Arkansas's offensive line coach the last 2 years. We know all the people Michigan's brought over from Arkansas. It was Dan Enos, the strength coach, 3 guys from that staff. So keep an eye out for Kurt Anderson to join the Michigan staff, maybe just for 1 year as he tries to get his career back on track to be an offensive line coach somewhere else. All right, folks, my name is James Yoder. I'm the king of Michigan football media. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter for all kinds of awesome information. Thank you so much to everyone watching. We are the #1 Michigan football show on Facebook Live, on YouTube. We're climbing the rankings in the podcast. We're going to have that bad boy before too long, so make sure you listen to the podcast if you have an iPhone. All right, on to the rumor number 10. Is there a new Michigan Jordan shoe dropping soon? Well, get your calendars out, folks, because it is a week from tomorrow. There is a new Jordan 32 low that is getting the Michigan colorway. It's got some really cool M's and Go Blues on the inside, or under the tongue, under the sole of the shoe. So they can be available on the Nike website and at mden.com a week from tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. You go to the MDen on campus. I know it's always a fury to get these shoes, and people usually limited supply. So go ahead and make sure you mark your calendar. New Jordans dropping a week from tomorrow. All right, on to rumor number 11 is Wilton Speight coming back to the University of Michigan. I keep hearing this one from sometimes reputable sources. I can only give it a 1 Harbaugh head because I don't think there's any chance this is happening, but you never know. If Shea Patterson doesn't get his eligibility for 2018, could Wilton call up Jim Harbaugh and say, hey, can I come back? I beat Brandon Peters 2 years in a row. Dylan McCaffrey, couldn't overtake me last year when he was a freshman. Why am I not the best option for Michigan if I am still healthy? Maybe there's some bad blood, which we've heard between the two, Harbaugh and Speight, but keep an eye on this one. I don't think there's any chance it happens, but I'm giving a 1 Harbaugh head because there's a guy out there that usually has some inside info that keeps putting it out to keep an eye on this one. So that is rumor number 11. On to our last run, rumor number 12. Do the sports books love Michigan in 2018? Well, at least one of them does. So I'm giving this a 2 Harbaugh heads. People are talking Bovada, one of the longest sports books on the internet. Used to go by Bodog back when I was slanging chips into the gambling game. So they have put Michigan as the 5th highest, 5th best odds to win the national championship in college football in 2018. I am guessing a lot of that relies on the fact that Michigan has so many starters returning from one of the youngest teams in America from last season. Also, I'm guessing they're banking on the fact that Shea Patterson is going to have some, renewed interest from Michigan fans to put their money where their mouth is, bet some big money on Michigan. So they are number 5, as you see there on screen. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, and then Michigan number 5 as far as most likely teams to win according to Bovada, the national championship, according to the gambling odds. So go ahead and put your money on Michigan plus 1,800. Put 100 down, win $1,800 back if Michigan is the national champion. All right, one last question for you guys. Michigan's home opener, September 1st at Notre Dame, under the lights in South Bend, nationally televised game on NBC. Predict the score in comments. If you want to give a with and without Shea score, I'm cool with that too. But I am going to go, as of now, I'm going Michigan 24, Notre Dame 14. I think they're going to get a big win on the road. Notre Dame's lost a ton, and Michigan's defense is coming back. I think it's going to be the best in over 20 years the school has had. So that is my score now, 24-14 Michigan. Go ahead and predict your scores in comments. And that is your Michigan Football Report Rumors Roundup. I am James Yoder, the king of Michigan football media. Give me a follow on Twitter. I'm approving all Michigan fans. Anybody Ohio State fans, you're not getting the approval. We will see you next time, and thanks for watching.